Shalom, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. These are the days, minutes, hours leading to the return of the one who the world calls Jesus Christ. Now, something that we've been talking about for a long time is, there's a lot of lack of faith in the world, and there's a lot of people who are kind of dismissive pertaining to the one who the world calls God and the one who the world calls Jesus Christ, which his name is Yahweh. That's the one who the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the one who the world calls Jesus Christ. A lot of dismissive at the existence. They're saying he isn't real. You got that Ariana Grande song, God is a Woman. It's easy to play like that because, they don't believe it's real. But different things like this, what I'm getting ready to show you is what's going to sweep. That's the spirit. I said sweeping, that word swept was there. But it's what's going to sweep the world and make the world acknowledge the Heavenly Father. Is when he shows his power. See that power, that's what changes things. So as you see right there, earthquake hits Turkey, but here entire village swept away in catastrophic mudslide triggered by rare cloudburst. Extremely sad and distressing. A catastrophic mudslide swept away an entire village in the Indian Himalayan state of Uttarakhand on Tuesday, taking at least 4 lives. Rescue crews are searching for small people still missing after flash floods pounded the small settlement. Officials believe a powerful cloudburst unleashed a torrent of water, mud, and debris that swept through the Raleigh's mountainside location. Aftermath was nothing short of devastating. Cloudburst packed destructive force, channeling flash floods through steep slopes and valleys that can overwhelm communities in their path. And when you get the chance, just look up cloudbursts. I was looking up videos of cloudbursts, and it looks dangerous. It looks like the sky is falling. You see just a thick cloud and just water just dumped. It looks like somebody's dumping a bucket on, a small few inches of mound of mud. It's crazy. And the interesting thing is, a brother, who preaches the faith of Yahweh Bashim Shai, went over in that type of area. The area they call the land of gods. I don't know if it was Malaysia or Himalaya or whatever you call it, but that type of area with those type of people. And he preached Yahweh Shema Shai over there, and they do worship a lot of other gods over there. And after the word goes out, that's when the Heavenly Father just starts acting, because the word goes out, it's not received. The different people, they hear and they see, and then that's when Yahweh Bashim Shai starts doing his thing. Over here, heavy rains lead to widespread flooding in Wisconsin. Record-setting rainfall caused intense flooding in and around the Milwaukee area starting on Saturday night. And I believe that there's brothers out there, that preach the faith of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Look at that. The Milwaukee area received 7.96 inches of rain from Saturday afternoon to Sunday morning, setting a record for a 2-day rainfall total in the Milwaukee area, according to the National Weather Service. More heavy rain was still to come on Saturday, forecasters said, and flood warnings remain in effect across Wisconsin. Hey, so as you can see, cloudbursts, heavy rain, causing flooding. The Heavenly Father is acting right now. Look at that, saving their dogs. Those are adorable dogs. Yeah, the Lord is doing different things. Let me get this in Romans real quick. Romans chapter 3 verse 3. For what if some did not believe, shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Right. So yes, as of right now, you can go to the store and get food from McDonald's, and there's no chariots that we see, at least hovering over, zapping people. There's no nuclear missile shot off. So when we say these different things, you have a lot of people that don't believe. But that's why it's a prophecy. It's going to continue to be said before it eventually happens. But because some don't believe, they think that just because they don't believe that it's not a reality or it's not going to happen. These different things are going to happen. It's just going to happen on the Lord's time, not our time or your time. God forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged, right? So, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're going to be justified in our sayings by these prophecies that we speak about actually happening. Psalms 58 verse 11. So that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judgeth in the earth, right? So, that's going to be, there's many rewards, but that's going to be one of the chief rewards is the men of the Heavenly Father that believe being validated by all the prophecies that they speak about happening. Hundreds of protesters arrested in London for supporting banned pro-Palestinian group. And this goes back to 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, the 3rd verse. It's going into all the different uproars of the people. Everybody's mad about something right now. CDC shooter believed COVID vaccine made him suicidal, his father tells police. A Georgia man who opened fire on the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention headquarters, shooting dozens of rounds into the sprawling complex and killing a police officer. He had blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for making him depressed and suicidal. Well, the 30-year-old shooter also tried to get into the CDC's headquarters in Atlanta, but was stopped by guards before driving to a pharmacy across the street and opened fire late Friday afternoon. The official said he was armed with 5 guns, including at least 1 long gun. The official said, speaking on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the investigation. So it's an ongoing investigation, So we're going to hear details about this going on. And really, this didn't even break big news, but this is big news, This is big news, but it's so much of these happening. Because remember, you just had the half black, half Asian dude go up and shoot up, I think it was in New York. I forgot where. But yeah, you just had him do that, and then he shot it up, talking about the NFL. He was trying to get talking about CTE. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation named Patrick Joseph White as the shooter, but authorities haven't said whether he was killed by police or killed himself. Yeah, man. So when you got so many disgruntled people, this is what happens. They don't care about life. They don't care about life, so they're upset, they're hurt, they're angered, and they go out and want to kamikaze. You know what I'm saying? And through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, that ain't what, you're supposed to do. Lord Yahweh Shema Shai will, the scriptures talk about waiting upon the Lord. So the funny thing is they try to paint different problems and things like that. But here's the thing, and anyone who really, really believes in the scriptures knows that the scriptures talk about, if at all possible, being at peace with all men. And also that you're supposed to wait upon the Lord. You're not supposed to do crash out things like this. The suspect's father contacted police and identified his son as a possible shooter. The law enforcement official told AP the father said his son had been upset over the death of the son's dog, and he had also become fixated on the coronavirus vaccine. According to the official, that the family lives in Kennesaw, Georgia, an Atlanta suburb, about 25 miles northwest of CDC headquarters. Yeah. Attention to endorsing Trump. I want to see if the dude is descends from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau or not. But I believe he more than likely does. More than likely, they'll probably put his picture out later and things like that. But here's the thing, Esau don't really play around. Esau, they really believe in this kingdom. They really believe in this setup. So when different things happen, they're gonna go out and crash out. Those are the real original crash outs. They think it's a dude with dreads and stuff like that. Nah, Esau will go get his issue. When he feels he's been wrong or he's been slighted. But yeah, this is what's going on, and Lord's will, we continue to watch and pray and believe and continue to do things that please the Heavenly Father. As we wait upon the return of his Son. Continue to handle your business. People working and things like that, handle the business. People got kids, people houses and things like that. Doing their car stuff and taking care of themselves. Continue to do that, but continue to keep Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai in front of you. Continue to pray to him and believe, and Lord's will, the Son will be sent back soon. Shalom.